Welcome to Vantage with AI. Today, I'm showcasing a powerful LTX 2.3 workflow with ID-LoRA, a workflow that lets you clone any voice using a reference audio and then use that voice natively inside LTX 2.3 to generate fully synchronized videos. Until now, we've been able to clone a person's appearance using a starting image or a set of guide images. But now, we can clone the voice itself directly inside LTX 2.3 without relying on any external voice cloning or TTS models. One important note, while this LoRa does clone the voice, it's not yet on the same level as a fully dedicated TTS voice cloning model. Part of the reason is that LTX 2.3 can still occasionally misspell or slightly mispronounce certain words, and accent is also quite off. That said, this is a huge step forward and a very promising start. In this video, we'll walk through exactly how to set this up and use it inside a ComfyUI workflow. And if you're new to LTX 2.3, I highly recommend checking out my previous video where I break down the fundamentals. Let's quickly go over what you'll need to get started. First, you'll need the LTX 2.3 base model. You can choose the dev version for maximum quality or the distilled version if you prefer faster generation speeds. LTX 2.3 is available in multiple formats, BF16, FP8, and quantized GGUF, so you can pick what best fits your hardware. Next, you'll need the LTX 2.3 VAE for video latence and the LTX 2.3 audio VAE for synchronized audio generation. If you're running the dev model, make sure to also download the LTX 2.3 20B distilled LoRA. This allows the dev model to run efficiently at CFG1 with just 8 steps, dramatically improving speed without sacrificing quality. Now, the most important part of this workflow, the LTX 2.3 ID-LoRA. This is what enables voice identity cloning. This workflow also uses two text encoders, the Gemma 312B text encoder and the native LTX 2.3 text encoder. To push resolution higher, you'll need the LTX 2.3 spatial upscaler, which enables multi-stage scaling. And finally, we use the Melband Rowformer model to extract clean vocals from your reference audio. All download links are already included inside the workflow, and I've also added them in the video description, so you don't have to go searching. And while you're down there, if you find this useful, make sure to like the video and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. Now let's take a look at how everything is connected inside ComfyUI. We start with the models section. This is where all core components are loaded: the base model, LoRa's, VAEs, and both text encoders. Next is the prompt section. ID-LoRA uses a structured prompt format with three key parts: visual, describing the scene and appearance; speech, the exact dialogue the character will speak; sounds, vocal style, and environmental audio. After that, we move to the controls section. This is where most of the power lies. Here, you define video resolution, duration in seconds, and target FPS. You also configure sampling settings. For the dev model, CFG4 with 20 steps, and for the distilled model, CFG1 with 8 steps. There are also several important toggles here. You can enable image to video if you're starting from an image. If you're using the dev model, there's a dev toggle. This allows the second stage upscaling to run with the distilled LoRa, making it much faster. If you're already using the distilled model, you can leave this disabled. You can also enable the distilled LoRa in the first pass for faster prototyping. Another key option is the second sampling pass. Now, this doesn't simply double the resolution directly. Instead, the workflow first generates the video at half resolution, and then the second pass upsamples it to the final output. Next, we have the Generate Latent section. This is where you upload your starting image, if image to video is enabled. Then comes the reference audio section. This is where the magic happens. Here, you load your reference audio file for voice cloning. You can also trim the audio using the Trim Audio Duration node, setting precise start and end points. For best results, your reference audio should be around 5 seconds long. That's what the model was trained on, so keeping it close to that duration gives the best voice matching. Shorter or very long clips can reduce the accuracy of voice identity transfer. Finally, we reach the sampler section, where the actual generation happens. This workflow uses a two-stage sampling pipeline. The first stage generates the video at half resolution, focusing on structure, motion, and consistency. The second stage, if enabled, performs a 2x latent upscaling pass, producing the final high-resolution output. Now let's test it out. For this example, I'll be using a reference audio sample generated with 11 labs.
Okay, I just walked into this cafe and the vibe is unreal. It's so cozy and aesthetic. The coffee smells amazing. And look at this setup. It's literally perfect for a chill workday or just hanging out. I'm about to try their signature drink. Let's see if it's worth the hype.
And as the starting point, I'll use this image of an influencer as the input frame. For the prompt, we're using a structured format that defines the visual scene, the exact spoken dialogue, and the background and environmental sounds. Everything is set. Let's run it. All right, here's the result. Let's check it out.
Okay, guys, so I just found this store and I'm honestly obsessed, which is it's like as Anthem Planks Asti. Like everything here is so aesthetic and high end. The quality feels an amazing and the styles are literally perfect for this season. I'm gonna try a few outfits. Tell me which one you love the
So, the result actually came out quite decent. Now, it's not the highest quality when it comes to voice realism, especially compared to dedicated TTS systems, but it does provide consistency in audio if we are using LTX 2.3 to generate audio and video. Let's try one more test. This time, I'll run the exact same prompt again, but without using any input image. So instead of guiding the visuals with a starting frame, we'll let LTX 2.3 generate the entire scene purely from the prompt description. Everything else remains exactly the same. Same reference audio, same settings, same structure. Let's run it. All right, here's the result. Let's check it out.
Okay, guys, so I just found this store and I'm honestly obsessed. Like everything here is so aesthetic and high end. When the quality of tune, the just amazing, and the styles are literally perfect. For this season, I'm gonna try a few outfits. Tell me which one you love the most.
The results came out quite decent. The scene generated by LTX looks surprisingly believable, and more importantly, the audio remains consistent with the voice sample we provided, which is exactly what we were aiming for. You can now maintain a stable voice identity across multiple generations, which was something LTX2 really struggled with, and that alone makes this LoRa incredibly useful for longer or iterative projects. And that's the workflow. With LTX 2.3 and ID-LoRa, we're now stepping into a space where both visual identity and voice identity can be controlled inside a single pipeline. It's not perfect yet, but the fact that you can generate video and maintain a consistent voice is a big deal. This opens up a lot of possibilities for content creators, storytelling, and fully AI-generated characters with persistent identity. If you found this useful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Vantage with AI for more workflows, experiments, and updates like this. Also, let me know in the comments, what would you like to see next? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.